Massacre one more time as SK Gaming take on Fnatic. Really interested to see how this one goes down, and we heard from the players themselves. Candy Panda saying, I'm really excited to get this series off. They've played 4 times over the year. They've got 5 games possibly to come up here, and well, who's going to come out on top? We'll be finding out. And are we going to see any level 1 action? That grouping from SK makes it seem so.
Yeah, remember yesterday, SK versus Rockout got caught out a few times by Rockout in that jungle and came off much worse. I wonder, of course, Fnatic would have watched those games, no doubt about that one, and they're wondering, are they going to do the same? You can see the positions of Fnatic. They are very much covering off every single position, every known position that SK will take.
And also really looking to go towards the blue buff of SK Gaming. The late invade, of course, around the 150 mark. They can move in, teleport on source. He can always just teleport down to the bottom lane. He won't miss any XP or gold.
So Freddy, the one sat patrolling there through the river, going top to bottom. Doesn't want to be going too far there because Lee Sin and Civ are waiting in the brush. Karma actually is at the back of the Baron pit here. So Fnatic set up for a defense. They'll get an early warning if SK move either from this ramp that we're seeing now or from the Tribush side at the top of the map, and they can try and close in. SK grouping, it looks like they're going to move it.
Fnatic actually backing away as well. They want to go in here, join in with Yellowstar. This could actually be a face check. Let's see if Fnatic can pick up an early kill onto SK Gaming.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see who blinks
first.
Here we go, Svenskeren is going to be the first one going in there. It's going straight in towards it. All the damage front-loaded onto Svenskeren. Flashes out of there. Soaz goes a little too deep on this one. Svenskeren quickly gets shielded up. Quick skill being picked up there. That may be a problem for Jesus taking that defensive ball, but there's no first blood for either team.
Few summoners used though. Soaz had to flash away. Svenskeren, of course, had to flash away. The heal was actually used from Candy Panda here. And we're going to get 2v2 up in top.
This is really bad for Enrated. The Q has landed, and they're going to follow it through as well. Candy Panda down to half HP. Enrated sticking around. There's a lot of damage being exchanged here, not messing around. SK might not be too bothered about that when it comes to this lane phase with his heals coming in, but there's the stun. The Q's landed. First blood for Soaz on Lee Sin. Will they get any more? Candy Panda is low. Wait for the Q. No, he flashes under the tower.
And Soaz, he decided to stay around because the flash was used here from Enrated. Cyanide now in the mid lane.
They're piling in. Jez is in trouble. He's gone out. The tower hit on Cyanide. The second one comes through. But Pancake can finish it off. He gets himself a first kill as well. And now with a LeBlanc starting to get kills, that's a problem.
So Cyanide, after the whole level 1 trade here, he wasn't even in the fight. He was actually he had moved all the way down to the red buff of SK Gaming. They had no idea. There was no vision to actually spot him out. Tell a lie, there was actually a ward, so they knew he was there to take the red buff, and then still he actually managed to sneak up behind Jesus and get a kill.
Absolutely amazing start to this one. It's 1,000 gold that Fnatic have as their lead here, just 3 minutes and 20 seconds into the game. We're going to see Reckless and Yellowstar just backing off from this one. Both of them got an assist apiece, and well, that's given a second Doran's Blade here so very early on in the game. That's dangerous for SK.
And also an Amp Tome as well for Peke, so he's getting that ability bonus. He's got himself a pink and a green ward. Single sight ward is of course being picked up by Cyanide. Already got that Spirit Stone at the very start of this game. Everything massive for Fnatic in these opening few minutes.
Yeah, and we saw in the last series how important it is to get an early lead in the bottom lane. We saw there with, of course, Caitlyn or Taps being caught out. This time around, it was the bottom lane from SK, so they fell behind in XP early. Of course, they're now trying to farm back. Whenever Reckless and Yellowstar join in though, they can do a lot of damage onto them, especially with this extra Doran's Blade so early.
Cyanide getting his second red buff of the game after that steal earlier on, and he'll be happy to take that away and stay in front of Svenskeren at this point of things. And he already got that Spirit Stone in. Reckless and Yellowstar are now back into this lane on the top side. The sustain out of SK Gaming will negate that second early Doran's Blade somewhat though.
Yeah, so again, Zone against Karma is a very, very strong pick because you got the heal. You can sustain both yourself and your AD carry. It's a very, very strong pickup, but also very risky. We saw it here. The low mobility, your flash is gone. Soaz just stayed around. They got the kill onto him. Cyanide can now come up for a gank. There's still no flash on Enrated.
No flash on Jez either, and Cyanide is coming close. He's going to get spotted out by that ward though in the bush, so if he does try and make another move to come around the back of Jez, this time around he is very much aware of it. Of course, has that defensive ball ready to pull in that shield. Top lane is what we were touching on. You talked about the double Doran's blade that now, of course, Reckless has. We also should mention that health gem that was picked up by Yellowstar, so that's going to keep him really. He's going to be the one in the face of SK. He's going to be the one that's going to be walking forward.
And also, you can get an early side stone, and then of course you can switch his trinkets around, so he gets the sweeping lanes, get some more vision control. And Yellowstar, of course, is the support in the European LCS who actually killed the most hordes.
We'll be doing that a lot more here today, you have to feel. Again, if you look at the CS, bang even at this point between Candy Panda and Enrated, despite the fact of all that action here at level 1. SK, now that they've got into a bit of a farm groove, have pulled that 1,000 gold lead a little bit further back towards their favor. Peke doing a good job. We've already seen him getting the proc on the chains off onto Jesus underneath the tower, keeping him under control for now.
Look here, early pickaxe for Soas. So he's going to build it towards the Tiamat and then focus on a lot of damage and of course another wave clear. But Cyanide now up in the top lane. Flash is almost ready on Enrated, but not yet.
Sneaking in, jumping onto Enrated. The chopper's come down, but Enrated's caught out. And Cyanide sinks at Taste of Fear in and gets himself a kill.
That's the thing with Sona. Your mobility is non-existent. You can speed up yourself very, very little in the early game because you obviously don't max your E. So it means when you have no flash, you're an easy target to just gank over and over, and Fnatic doing a great job with it.
As Jesus once again being pushed onto by Peke. Some good damage back though onto LeBlanc, so that will stop them being so aggressive. So, Freddy has actually hit level 6 here, slightly before Soas. This turret is going to be going down. Funnily enough, that's not going to be replied to because of that 1v1 in the bottom and getting that kill onto Enrated on the top side.
They're trying to delay as long as possible. They want those minions to go down, and then Reckless times it so the last tower hit comes out. There's no minions left to be picked up. Svenskeren coming in towards Peke in the mid lane, but he's going to be very tricky to pin down with that distance.
And not only is there no minions, at the same time, the wave is going to just be stuck in the middle here because both the waves are the same thing. There's no pushing towards SK or pushing towards Fnatic. It means Source can now recall and go up in this top lane without a chance of SK to have pushed the wave all the way down to the turret. So he won't miss any CS or XP.
So some more items coming out. Cutlass as Freddy comes back into his lane. In the mid lane, we also saw the back off, and both coming in with identical items there as well. Got a water piece and the workings of that Athene's unholy grail. AD carries also getting themselves vamp scepters and boots of speed, and there is the switch around as we'd expect from Fnatic. They've taken the top turret, they're going to go down bottom. SK might have to move a little bit quicker on this one to not lose too much damage, not lose too much health, sorry, on that bottom outer turret.
Yeah, that speed boost from Yellowstar being used just to make sure Reckless gets into that wave just in time to catch those 2 CS that would have been lost otherwise. Svenskeren caught out at red buff actually, being forced away, does not have smite on this one, and Yellowstar surely would have realized that. He's going to try and steal it away. Now he's going to go aggressive on Svenskeren, does have to burn the flash. He got the red buff though.
And a very aggressive invade because of the dual lane from SK being up in the top lane, so they knew there was no chance they could be here yet. Yellowstar just walked straight into the jungle, found Svenskeren, and tried to set something up. Forced away the flash because Pega was moving from the mid lane.
Expertly done there by Yellowstar, and as you said, scary stuff there for Svenskeren. I think he expected that someone else would be following up there, that it wouldn't just be Karma to harass him at the red buff. Funnily enough, turns out it just was that Karma. However, Candy Panda and Enrated are now down in the bottom lane. Candy Panda's lost out on a lot of farm because of this death of Enrated, then going back, then coming back in, then realizing he has to go down to that bottom lane. And we see that Yellowstar and Reckless just going to harass them as much as possible underneath his tower. It's Sona after all though, so a lot of it will be regen quickly.
Speaking of harassment, look at this blue buff. Soaz sticking around here. Of course, he hasn't got smite. Goes aggressive straight onto Jesus though. We'll put some damage towards him. He's going to rotate back towards Peke in that, and they're actually going to go for Dragon.
Simply because they're forcing multiple members from SK over to the blue buff, so they know they have to move all the way around down to this Dragon. Already started, Fnatic should pick it up for free.
Started and surely going to be finished here. If you look at the minimap, Jesus in the mid lane, not moving down towards it. You've got Lee Sin, who's on the bottom side of the SK jungle there, just to run interference if anyone does come over. And you can expect that there. That red camp was left because Svenskeren had to flash. He knows that Svenskeren will come around to it at some point to clear that one up. He might even get Jesus ball. He might get sandwiched.
Here comes Peke, he's going to come around, they're going to try and explode. Jesus gets punted straight towards him. The damage comes through. Shockwave whips. Jesus gets taken down, and now Svenskeren's in trouble. He's on Soaz, who's a strong top laner. He's doing a lot of damage for Esko and simply gets kited around, and it's a double kill for Peke.
Oh, the rocket missed too. Such a smart play by Soaz here. Peke was moving to him from the second they noticed Jesus was moving around the edge here. Came in and just kicked him back in the face of Peke. And then, of course, the ultimate completely missed here for Jesus.
And that leaves a bit of a terrible sign for SK, you have to feel. 5-0 in kills, there's a 4,000 gold lead, and you've got a 3-0-0 LeBlanc. Soaz actually taking a lot of damage from Freddy here. There is a pillar coming down. Soaz, can he escape this one? In the end, Freddy decides not to chase again. No vision of anyone on that bottom side. Actually, they've got vision of everyone here because Fnatic have pushed that middle turret out with 2 men, and they'll take that middle turret as well. A simple rotation to bottom will surely give them a 3rd tower as well.
Especially with LeBlanc here, 3 early kills. When he goes back to shop with a lot of gold, he can join whatever lane he wants to and just pick up a kill. Going towards Jesus.
Okay, once again, using that distortion, pouncing on, keeping Jesus guessing every single time. Cyanide taking the blue buff away in his own jungle. We'll see Peke not wanting that one, it seems. And, well, I wonder whether they're going to rotate down towards this bottom lane. That's where I'm looking towards. That's one of the next focus surely will be from Fnatic.
There is one thing, though. Up in the top lane, we just saw the duel between Soaz and Freddy going heavily in favor of Freddy. So he should be able to just stay and split push throughout the entire game and always force 1 or 2 members of Fnatic to go up there and try and stop him. And that's the thing for SK Gaming. As long as Freddy does well 1v1, they will have the map pressure. Because then, whenever Fnatic moves up a member, they can go towards the Dragon, they can go towards the mid lane, maybe the bot lane. And when there's only 3 members from Fnatic or even less, then SK Gaming, even though they are behind, can try and set something up.
Team map for Soaz. Is he thinking, okay, I need to test Freddy again and see if I can fight him this time? Under the tower last time, that didn't work, and this will certainly help his cause if Cyanide can get in there. And Cyanide has gone through. Not seen by any ward, and there is a stealth bug gonna dive straight in on top of Freddy, who tries to turn things around. The pillar does go down, and that's blocked out Cyanide completely, but Soaz here gonna kick him back. Cyanide trying to run away. Freddy's gonna go down. You can't escape that one. One more will do it, and it is Soaz that picks up the 6th kill of the game here for Fnatic.
Yeah, very good reaction from Fnatic, saying we need Soaz to get ahead in this 1v1. So Cyanide moves up there, and you also see him just backing away from the kill, making sure Soaz would get it so he becomes stronger.
Well, while that's happening, it does show themselves that there is no jungler in this bottom lane, and SK Gaming take advantage of that. They push up, they're trying to put pressure on towards that bottom lane. Zap will not land because that dirty minion blocked in front. Fnatic trying to do the same. They're pushing heavily on towards this top lane combo. They're going to get this turret down. I'm not sure SK are going to do the same.
SK can't push on the turret because of the wave clear from both Sivir and Karma. You already see Svensson going towards the mid lane just to push it into the turret, trying to deny some CS from Peke.
Everybody else is rotating around as well. SK Gaming, 4 members in towards this mid lane, but look at
scary.
Fnatic. 4 members, they're collapsing from every single angle. Svenskeren has got an ultimate. Here comes Peke, distortion on towards him. Tries to get the lockdown onto Jesus. Soaz coming around the side. They're keeping them guessing. Teleport, Freddy's going to join the fray as well. He's coming across from that top lane. Peke off on his own at the moment. He needs the rest of his team to come in. Remember, there is no tower for them to fall back to, so they are just going to back away with the minions.
And Soaz a little bit unfortunate that the minions followed him out of the lane into the jungle. So he's like, well, they can see everything that I'm doing here. That's not ideal. No kill picked up there, but for Fnatic, I think more of a tower defense scenario. Stopping SK taking that one down as a super mega death rocket. Just, I'm not sure what that was.
On who? Everyone's like full HP.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Misclick. Let's put it down to that for now. So.
Notice Peke though here in the jungle of SK. He's gonna spot out someone up here.
Oh, they're on the ward.
Oh,
Distortion could catch them both out. Enrated taking so low. One more hit. But there's the crescendo. Turns it back around on his head. Gandhi Panda in there. Jesus comes in to get himself the easy kill.
Completely backfired here for Peke. He thought he had more damage, so the shielding coming in from Jesus, saving in red, turning it around, and at this point for SK Gaming, every single kill matters.
So close to getting the kill. So close, but yet so far by the end as Jesus still gets slowed down there. by Yellow Star. We've got less than a minute here until the second dragon of the game comes up. Fnatic don't need to be too worried about that. They've got full vision control of it. A pink ward sat just around the lip of that pit as well. We see blue buff will go over to Jesus. He's going to recall, which will leave him about 30 seconds to get back there with the rest of the team if SK feels strong enough to go for it.
But it's a very, very big wave down here in the bottom lane. Sana already joining in with the team. They won this last auto turret going. You already see the deep wards from Yellow Star, so they got full vision of SK Gaming if they want to move and try and defend.
They're going to push on through. This tower will go down. Remember, no crescendo available for N-Rated, but if they face check into towards this one, Yellow Star is ready and waiting. He wants to steal away some of the CS here. Will get it as well, both of the columns. And that's a 70 gold along with 100. Happy times for Yellow Star.
Very happy times, and now Soa's actually doing a very good job against Freddy.
Yeah, interesting fight, this one. Blade of the Ruin King is done for Freddy, and Soa says, okay, I've had enough of that fight. Kicks the troll back, and, well, just in perfect timing here for the Dragon. Tower taken by Fnatic. Got some deeper wards down in there as well. SK once again are going to be nowhere near this Dragon to have a go. And it's Super Mega Death Rocket this time thrown out there. And does a bit of damage, of course, but no one even remotely low enough for that to have an impact. Second Dragon of the game goes to Fnatic.
And now expect to see Fnatic go into the jungle of SK and try and do what Pekka was doing before. Wait around. Wait for SK to push up the lanes and then try and collapse on them from behind, from the side. Find this pick here, because pushing straight down onto SK Gaming with, of course, Orianna to try and wave there, it can be a little bit hard, it can be a little bit risky. They're not tanky enough to just dive onto SK yet, so they might want to find this pick first in the jungle, or if someone from SK overextends the lane, for instance, Freddy.
Well, we'll see how it works out. SK Gaming have good vision control, as they always have done, honestly, in the games they've played, and Fnatic will be looking to try and do the same. Yellow Star himself has, I think, bought the most wards in the entire European
Killed the
LCS.
most, bought the most.
He is the king of vision. You could say he's a visionary.
Oh.
Woo!
That was pretty impressively bad. Yellow Star here is going to be clearing it out. Just as you talk about him, clearing out the ward.
Yellow Star, one more.
Gets a pink ward there that was just put down in the Baron pit. Svenskeren, I have to say, been fairly quiet so far this game. That might change now, though, because he's coming in. Soa's already at half HP. Freddy, where is the pillar going to come down? He's got Subjugate running. Soa's flashes, but the pillar does finally come in. Svenskeren gets it, and that will be the second kill of the game coming in for SK.
And it can actually end up being a very big issue for Fnatic, the fact that Soas, he can't do anything to Freddy here. We saw the last fight they had where Soas looked good in the start, but then he just had to kick Freddy away because of the sustain from the ultimate. Of course, there's no ignite on Soas here, only a teleport, so he won't be able to stop some of the healing coming in from Freddy. That's why he can't duel him 1v1, and it means SK should be able to just push away with this troll throughout the entire game and get him very, very tanky.
So Fnatic are starting to let their gigantic advantage slide a bit. Let's not discount the fact they have a 5,000 gold advantage. They have that 4-2 turret advantage, and we are only 18 minutes into this game. Peke is now split pushing away from this one. Candy Panda is somewhat confident, considering he's got really no escape other than that flash here. He's quite happy to land that zap onto Peke.
You need to remember, Peke decided to go for the Fiends and not the DFG here early on, so his instant burst is not as high, and that's why also he couldn't kill N-rated before, actually, when he tried to get him here in the bush. So he's more focused on more damage in the team burst and just straight up instant burst to a target.
This could be dangerous. SK gonna walk over that ward. That's a nice ward in position by Peke. We'll spot them early enough, and Fnatic using that opportunity to sneak another 3 men around here into that red buff brush. As it happens, no one actually moving out there, but they've scanned as well, so they know that they're not spotted at this point, and they're going to try and come in around the side.
N-rated in all sorts of trouble. Oh, the inner flame does not land, but Peke still goes in. Crescendo comes out. That stops him in the tracks. Freddy teleporting in from the top lane. That means Fnatic are going to evacuate, but that leaves actually Soaz open in the top wave to push that inhibitor turret.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Freddy didn't cancel his teleport here, because Fnatic had already disengaged away from SK. It means a lot of hits from Source onto the turret here, and Fnatic can just try and keep multiple members from SK at this turret. We did see, however, Fnatic moving into the jungle, waiting for SK to just move away from the turrets, and then they collapsed in from the side here. But due to the flashes being up for both Candy Panda and N-rated, they got into the turret.
Decent little chunk of damage done by Soaz in that top lane. four-man defense here of SK seems to have held Fnatic off right now, and Cyanide will be the one to go back to mid, push that lane further out. Of course, inner turret is still standing in that area of the map, and Svenskeren actually backing away. Peke really wants to keep that pressure going. They're going to try and clear out the vision as well that they saw SK put down just moments ago, and maybe even keep this up for another 2 minutes until that dragon comes in.
Pressure is exactly what they are applying. Just look across the map. Oh, hello. No, they're not going to catch out. Soaz is, though, trying to protect off that blue buff. They're going to try and steal that one away. Cyanide is just over the hedge as well. He can jump straight in there. Has got those wings evolved now at level 11. May try and come in for the steal. There's the ward coverage. Do they fancy this one? No, I think they're going to let it go.
Close.
Sonic Wave nearly caught it out, but then while that was all happening, while SK invested so many resources into just getting the blue buff, they almost lost that middle turret.
And it's been the story of the game, to be honest. Every single time SK wants to get a blue buff or something, they need to invest multiple members to try and get it, so Fnatic can just push elsewhere on the map or try and set a gang up somewhere else.
Peke actually was waiting to the side. He was spotted. SK had already pinged him, but again, he returns to that bottom lane to keep that pressure going. Considering what we said in the pre-game here, SK in their games, and quite frankly, the second half of the season, maybe even a little bit earlier than that, they've been probably the best team at holding onto map control and rotating around. Fnatic playing them their own game at this stage.
And one thing also to remember is SK in the start of the season always had very long games because they were so good at just defending, farming up. Even though they were 10, 15k behind, they could defend. And it's the same thing they want to try and do here, just farm up, extend the game by 10, 15, 20 minutes so they get 3 or 4 items on the key members, especially Jess is on Orianna here. He needs to get his death cap, he needs to get the Void Staff before he can really start becoming a threat in the team fights.
Yeah, it's a stark contrast, like Alex said, it's all about farming in that mid lane. Well, neither of these mid laners had chance to do that. They're having to rotate around the map and look for the farm. The rest of Fnatic are pushing on through. That dragon will be spawning in 7 seconds, which is why you see Reckless and Yellowstar heading straight down with the support of Cyanide.
I'm not sure if SK are going to be in a position to do anything about this one either. Freddy doesn't have his teleport available. Looking like we will see the third dragon of the game going Fnatic's way once again. Yeah, SK nowhere near that one. That's the dragon going to be going down then. And another chunk of gold to Fnatic. He's actually approaching 7,000 gold, the lead here. We've only just gone past that 20-minute mark as well.
And we already saw the plan for Fnatic. Go in the jungle, wait for someone to overextend, and go in there. And in case, oh, Cyanide been caught out.
Caught out with the crescendo
Wow.
and exploded where he stands. Svenskeren will be picking that kill up, and so far, so good. And SK Gaming, despite all this early pressure Fnatic had, have not really been pressured probably for the last 5-10 minutes.
No, I think we can at least say 100% sure that SK know exactly what the plan for Fnatic was. That's why they've been doing a good job of not overextending, and this time around they were just waiting for someone to go in and ward. And now they also take the mid turret because nobody's there to defend. Well,
Also-
except for Yellowstar.
Yeah. Also credit to SK there, I think. I mean, even despite this pressure from Fnatic, they've kept wards on their bottom side of the jungle. The top side of the jungle is not quite as much vision, but the bottom side certainly is, and now they're going to try and lock up Freddy here. There is a Subjugate going to be used against Soaz, and also that Blade of the Ruin King to give him the movement speed, but will they finish him off? Reckless is doing a lot of damage. Soaz going decently low from this one, but it is going to be a kill. It will go to Reckless.
So Freddy pushing all the way up here. It was just a matter of time before he get punished for it. Yes, they got a kill onto Cyanide, but still the rest of Fnatic were in a good position at least to go up there and kill him. And SK Gaming, they took the mid turret, but they couldn't do anything else. They had to back off from there. So Freddy giving up a kill here and also using his flash, which can be very important for the next few minutes.
Yeah, well, I think Freddy's proven that they have to 2v1 in there.
Oh yeah,
Game
sure.
was very close to taking down someone in a 2v1. He's only going to get stronger as well, which is a bit of a scary thing for Fnatic.
Exactly, that's the thing. He's been able to dual source for the entire game. So once SK gets some more farm, if they can get more farm, and the rest of the members can become stronger so they can actually fight against 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 members of Fnatic, then SK Gaming can take advantage of the fact that Freddy is so strong. Before that though, we're just going to see him push up the wave, and if he goes too far, he's going to die again.
Let's have a look at some of the items coming out here. Some 5k was done, in fact, for Freddy. The last time he went home after dying. Also seeing Randuin's Omen coming out for Svenska, and the Mikael's Crucible as well is in there for N-rated. So few bigger items coming into play here that are certainly going to be helping SK Gaming out. We can see that Soaz has picked up his Sunfire's Cape now as well, which is a real big bonus considering how much he was being battered by Freddy before.
Still won't actually be able to duel him. We saw the fight before, even when Reckless was there, Freddy almost turned it around onto Soaz here, but still managed to pick up the kill. And also why you see Soaz moving away from the lane where Freddy was, because I don't want to duel you, I'm just going to go to a different lane, push it up. If you guys send multiple members down bot lane, we just start the Baron then.
Well, at the moment it is Soaz going to try and split, but they're looking to, they may land on towards actually N-rated, who did come very close to face checking on towards Cyanide. Instead, the zap lands, and look how much damage that single zap did from Candy Panda there. With that last Whisper and Bloodthirster stacked in with the Zeal, he started to do some serious damage, and when you don't buy any armor, as Cyanide has done, then it's going to hit you hard.
Really, really hurt onto him, but Pegan now needs to get away from this.
Yeah, Freddy is a scary, scary beast. A single chomp on Peke, shredded down a third of his health, but Fnatic are chasing.
And Freddy's right in the middle of this one. I don't think he's tanky enough to survive. It's Reckless against that. There is Soaz off the side on towards Svenska. They use a Randuin, but is it enough to get him away? No, it's not. I thought the shockwave would have come there from Jesus. It didn't in the end. They give up 2 kills. They give up a blue buff. Fnatic are turning. They're going Baron.
First mistake made by SK Gaming on the map here. They get caught out. Fnatic pops the ultimate from Reckless and just piles onto them so fast, so much mobility. No turrets around to help them. And that's 2 kills. And now the Baron. Just what Fnatic needed.
And that's such a tragedy because SK Gaming had hung on so well here. They had great vision in that bottom half of the jungle. They were starting to regain it back in that top, but they felt they caught Peke out, and Freddy just put his team in a perilous situation. SK Gaming are going to have to defend very hard against this Baroned up Fnatic.
And it is so hard to play against a pick comp like the one from Fnatic here, because one mistake and they will get onto you. How are you ever going to escape from Karma, Sivir? And then you got the LeBlanc jumping in. You got, of course, Lee Sin, so mobile. You got Kha'Zix with the jumps, with the speeder from his ultimate. I mean, once you're actually being caught out of position, there's just nowhere to go.
So, you see another item coming in. Last Whisper for Reckless on Sivir. Actually gone Distortion on his boots here as well. Obviously wants that flash to be up a little bit more often. It added safety in there for him.
Also, here in 4.5, it gives, I believe it's like 30% movement speed for 2 seconds. And Svenska is taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, locked up. Crucible actually used there onto him, which gave him that heal, of course, and removed the chains effect.
Didn't have vision in the bush, which is why they didn't chase on that one. Now Peke fancies it. He comes around once again, gets another poke, trying to bait out that crescendo. Was not used this time around. Dragon is up in 30 seconds. Peke continuing to try and find his targets, continuing to poke down SK Gaming while the rest of the team take down the inner turret.
And it is, of course, 20% movement speed for 1 second you get by upgrading your boots here from Reckless side when he actually flashes. So just even more mobility for him and the team.
Especially when you got the heal in there as well.
Yeah.
He's gonna, if you have to use both, you're gonna be speeding away from that.
Oh god, you're gonna be so fast.
You're gonna be quick, especially if his ult is running, especially if Karma's there.
Yeah, Karma's there as well.
He's just flashing across the map. We've got 5 seconds here until Dragon comes back up. And, well,
that was a lie.
That was a lie. Those 5 seconds passed faster than any 5 seconds of my life so far. Either way, it goes down. 4 Dragons, the single Baron, all to Fnatic. Those big money objectives in their favor. 6-3 in turrets, 9-3 in kills. The gold lead is over 10,000 now.
Really been controlling the objectives so well from Fnatic side. Never gave SK a chance to get on to the objective here. Yes, SK tried to ward up their own jungle and avoid being caught out by Fnatic. You gotta give them the credit at least, but Fnatic been doing such a good job just denying everything else and always also fighting for red buffs and blue buffs, putting SK in bad situations.
Well, I mean, it all began obviously from that level 1 fight,
yes.
that level 1 era. SK simply getting caught out, giving up 2 kills. Actually, although to be fair, Peke's kill was a well-worked gank from Cyanide and Peke, and of course the top lane was down to Soaz sticking around. But Fnatic have never really given up this advantage to gain them.
Never. And again, when you get such a good start, you force summoners in the lane and you get a first blood up there, and at the same time your mid laner gets an early kill. You just need to push the advantage, and that's what they did. They sent Cyanide back up to the top lane to get another kill when there was no flash and raided. And also, Cutlass onto Reckless, he's gonna build a player through King and be even faster.
SK are trying to set a trap of their own. We saw Alliance do this yesterday against Fnatic, and
Cyanide jumped in.
we saw how that went, and Cyanide did leap, headfirst into it, and spring it.
Ooh, Yellow Star is very close going down there. Check it first. Nope.
Nope, not going to check it. There's a crescendo used, but he uses a Mikhail's. Is like, no, you're not going to have me from this one. Good shockwave, though. Gets 3 men. Super Mega Death Rocket as well as Candy Panda finishes off Yellow Star. They're having to fight Freddy from the backside. Soa's actually diving real deep in the middle. Now Peke comes around to help the team out. They lose 1 man here, not picking up any kills of their own.
Very, very scary combo though from Fnatic, or from SK, sorry, when they use the shockwave and then followed by the rocket from Candy Panda here, picking up a kill for them. Yellow Star probably should have checked the bush before he actually decided to walk down there.
Yeah, face checking is the best not done at this level of play, especially 30 minutes into a game. And wise play though from SK. They waited a long time for that one, and they got their reward. They only got a support kill though. And you see Svenskeren clearing out that ward, and SK not falling for it the second time, making sure that bush is very much covered off.
And the thing for Fnatic is they don't actually have to do anything for the next few minutes. They can wait for the Baron to respawn, set it up, force SK out of the base, and then try and get an open team fight. Because now SK is just defending at the turrets. And we talked earlier about how it's very hard for Fnatic to dive onto a turret when there is the likes of Orianna, of course, Sona ultimate. If you get locked down under a turret here, at this point of the game, it's going to be very, very scary. Also due to the fact, well, okay, there's quite a lot of armor now onto Source. He will be able to tank it, but the rest of the members won't.
If only Yellow Star had a scrying orb. Check that brush before ending up going down to it. We'll see, though. I think they're not too worried about that single kill. It's not something that you want to make a habit of, though, constantly giving things away. As we get back to that split push, it's 3 men in the top lane, LeBlanc in the mid, and Lee Sin down bottom. We'll see where the pressure finally breaks this one. Still 1 minute and 40 till the Baron actually comes up as Reckless. Gonna take a bit of damage there from Freddy, but already fairly far behind that steps line. And Freddy, he's still pretty tanky. I mean, obviously he was singled out last time to go down, but at the end of the day, it takes 3 or 4 people at this point to really focus him to kill him.
I mean, Freddy's been playing so well the entire game, actually. He was always the one where Fnatic had issues dealing with him, had to send multiple members to kill him, while the rest of SK was the target for Fnatic because they could get around them and get onto them.
SK Gaming, as we mentioned, are very good at delaying games, and they are trying their best against Fnatic here. This is the grand finals, remember, of the championships for the spring split playoffs. This is a best of 5, which is why you see the 0-0 at the top there. We have potentially 4 more games to go after this one. As it stands, Fnatic looking very strong. They have that 13,000 gold lead after a great start. It's actually a habit that Fnatic have started to get into. They get that very good early game start that they manage to turn into a lead, and it does put pressure on your opposition when you go that 1-0 down.
Okay, actually just stealing away the red buff there. Got a blue already. And Fnatic, I think, buying a bit of time here because the big boys coming up next. Baron in just 20 seconds time. They have full vision control.
Yeah. SK is not going to contest.
SK's not been near that for quite a while. Not that far out of their base.
They don't have to. They're so far behind in gold. They just need to wait in their base. Whenever minions come down, farm them, work towards your items. Look at Jessis, for instance. He actually got Death Cap and Void Staff now. So he's becoming very, very scary. His Shockwave is going to start hurting a lot, making it even harder for Fnatic to try and close out the game. Unless, of course, they can do the same thing as they did earlier, where they catch SK out of a position.
Yeah, the rocket came out there from Candy Panda. They know that Fnatic picked up that Baron. They're going to have full vision of them heading towards that top wave. As Candy Panda actually goes down the bottom. He's going to have to recall pretty quickly because that top inhibitor turret has already taken a touch of damage, and Fnatic are moving in full force.
Not messing around from this one. SK actually having to rotate over for that one. Candy Panda nowhere near though, so Fnatic are fast enough they could have a bit of a 4v5 here. In the end though, no. Orianna clears out pretty much the entire first wave of minions. Next one is going to be made short work of, and some good damage there onto Cyanide as well. And this could be the problem for Fnatic if SK sit in this exact position just on the steps. How do you get through it?
Well, that's the thing. You need to catch someone out of position from SK, or you just need to say, we're going to dive 5 members straight onto you. And like Soaz goes in first, kicks back Candy Panda into your team, and you just blow him up. There's no flash onto him, so they could have done it here. But SK, again, just staying around to defend. And we have to remember, damage-wise, Jinx versus Sivir, late game, Jinx wins out. Trundle versus Trundle versus Lee Sin. Trundle wins out as well. And then, of course, the shockwave from Jesse here can be so important. Orianna is such a late game beast too.
Well, we see Peke getting a tiny couple of shots on towards that mid turret. Keeps being an annoyance every time he comes in, distorts his wound. Soaz has now cleared out that bottom lane that Candy Panda had pushed in to try and delay this Baron as long as possible, which is obviously Freddy now going down there. The rest of SK, though, are doing a grand job. They've got good wave clear to keep all of these minions at bay. It's going to be a matter of time, though. Fnatic slowly but surely chipping down the turrets.
Yeah, that bottom lane, not quite the easiest one. I think possibly the hardest one to go into. They're going to go for Jesus. Soaz goes in there, but the minions blocking him from getting the Q off and traveling that far out. But Peke did get some good damage in there. Can they now open things up for that turret push? The problem is that those minions go down so very quickly. There they go, diving towards Freddy once again. Jane's gonna leash him up, half of his health, and actually ultimate use there by Peke.
Well, Freddy was taken very low as well. He's had to step back to the fountain. Jesus didn't even get a chance to completely top off his health, so he's had to completely cover himself off. Candy Panda doing what he can, firing over that wall, but they're still holding off against this Baron. There's around about a minute, 20 seconds left remaining on it, and as of yet, Fnatic have yet to really make an impression on the SK's base.
Well, a positive thing for Fnatic at least is the fact that their home guard boot, here in 4.5 has been changed a little bit. You don't get instant health anymore. It's actually going to take some time before you get it back. So it means SK can just buy 5 home guard boots and then run back to the base, heal up every single time you get poked down. They won't be able to do it. They need a bit more time for the fountain to heal them. So it means Fnatic, whenever they actually get some good damage onto Justice or Freddy, can go in and get a few hits onto the turret.
Need to get someone down low enough so that they have to go recall, and then they can have a 5v4 while staying healthy enough themselves. As we see there, Freddy absolutely battering away on Soaz.
And you actually see Peke before. He just jumps in, and then one hit onto the turret, jumps out. He doesn't even go for a champion. He just want to get a few hits, because once they get the first turret down, they can force a teamfight at the inhibitor, or just take it for free, and then put focus in the other lanes afterwards.
And that turret's been taken down to half hit points already, so it seems to be working for Peke. Every time that wave comes in, Jez is clearing the wave, comes in, gets a little shot, basic attack on towards it, pokes it down again. Freddy, Soaz, been punting him away from this one, buying time for Reckless to get on towards the turret. Reckless, though, going to get focused on. They can't quite catch him down, and that bought time for Peke to get more poke on that mid turret.
Just doing everything they can to get a few hits every single time. Again, he jumps in, one auto attack, jumps out again here. So Fnatic, clearly, they know they can't just dive onto SK. They need to get a few hits every single time.
Literally the most annoying combo you can play against at this stage of things as well. Again, Soaz going to come in. That's a Banshee's Veil on Candy Panda though, so even if you connect, it's not really going to do all that much to you. Fnatic must be sat on quite a lot of gold here. Yeah, everyone is pretty much over 2,000 gold, so a lot to spend as finally they do some damage back here onto Peke and Reckless. That Baron buff, of course, has now ran off Fnatic. And that may be a signal to start to back away and spend some of that gold.
It means, at least for Fnatic's side, it's going to be harder for them to do what they're doing now because they don't have the Baron buff to heal them back up. Peke, he's going to stay around his HP for a while now, so if you want to jump in again, take a few hits in the face, then afterwards he actually needs to go back to the base. So it's been working at least to get a few hits on the turret, but it's not been enough for Fnatic.
Well, Fnatic have that gigantic gold lead. You can see it's what, 18,000 gold, but when 10,000 of that gold is sat in your bag, it's not being made use of. They're all sitting on around about 2k, so Fnatic really need to, I think, step away from this siege for now. Let SK get a little reprieve, go spend all of that gigantic gold sums they have and make use of it. They're going to take the dragon away, that's going to increase that lead yet more. But SK still are holding on. That middle turret, though, is only going to take a concerted effort from Fnatic, I feel, to take it down now.
It just requires 1 or 2 seconds where SK is out of position, and then Reckless or Pekka can go in all together, get the last few hits onto this turret, kill it, and then go in towards the inhibitor. And SK Gaming, I don't think they've stepped out of the base for the last possibly like 15 minutes.
No, and I don't think they're going to for the next 15 either. I mean, there's literally nothing outside of the base for them to really go for right now. Did see that Dragon finally go down. Took a little while for Cyanide to finish off, but they have finally started spending all that gold there from before. So, let me run you through those items. Banshee's Veil for Lee Sin, along with a Ruby Sightstone that he picked up there. DFG now for Peke. We've also got the Guardian Angel on Cyanide. Double Randuins in the team. Like, if they're ever going to dive, this is probably the point.
This is the time at least, and Justice really needs to get his Banshees, otherwise if he's standing there defending against Pekka, he can get blown up instantly. Like, there's no Zhonya's, he needs to get the Banshees completed. Should have it soon though. I think he's been farming for quite a while here, and once he actually picks it up, he can avoid being just one-shotted by Pekka.
Well, surprise, surprise, Baron spawning in 20 seconds. Fnatic are ready and waiting to capitalize on that third Baron of the game. And SK, as you rightly pointed out, do not plan on leaving this base anytime soon. They're happy to hold on, happy to stretch this game out, happy to try and get their champions fed as possible. But you can see they're behind in levels. Every single member behind in levels. They're literally not moving.
Nope, dancing around as well from Svenskjern. Looks very nice. And meanwhile, a Baron is being taken.
Baron being taken. Had a peek at the player cameras behind you. SK just chatting away, not really got hands on keyboards right now. They know exactly what Fnatic are doing, of course. Baron going down, the third Baron of the game. Fnatic have had all 5 dragons as well. Oh, Candy Panda. Stepping out of the comfort zone there, went a little bit down that bottom lane, but he's going to be swiftly moving back into position. But will Fnatic try and capitalize on that? Well, it looked like they had moved forward to have a go at something, but in the end, well, they don't find that opening. And they're stood on wards right now, so SK, I have to give them credit. They're getting a couple of wards outside the base so they could see the exact rotations that Fnatic were going to do between the top and the middle lanes. Soa's getting a little bit deep, but he'll just safeguard straight out.
Big wave in the top.
This is it, surely.
Peke gonna get some attack onto this one. It's leaving that mid lane exposed. Jesus gets a big burst of damage down on him. Ignite was used this time around. That tower going very, very low. Soa's continuing to keep the damage down. There's the 3-turn strike. Freddy's gonna get dropped. You can see Cyanide jumping in. One more cleave. Soaz gets the kill on towards him. Svenskjern in trouble. Crescendo comes out, stops Soaz. Cyanide now has to back out. He has got that Guardian Angel, remember, but the second inhibitor turret will fall, and Fnatic now have exposed the SK base like a can opener.
That surely is it here. I thought that as well when they came in. Guardian Angels in there as well. We're going to see the teleport actually coming in from Soaz. He went back to heal himself up and they moved straight in. Shockwave actually at the back, but the Nexus turret's already been focused here. Fnatic, not sure why they're not going for the second one in there at this point. Cyanide pretty low, but still has his Guardian Angel here. That's a dead troll up on the top side as they go in on towards Peke. He's going to get his passive pop, but they go back in. Svenskjern goes down. Soaz gets that one. There's another one for Soaz. Double kill on that front, and now they can finally turn. They've broken the defense from SK Gaming, and it's Fnatic that take game number 1 here in the championship match.
It took them 42 minutes to finally take them down. It's the advantage they had from the very start of this game, where they got those 2 early kills in the top and middle lane, and they held on to that advantage the whole way through.